This will be my Module 4 A entry, and for this I'll start about an epiphany I had, and this is a bit of an embarrassing one, to be honest, because it just has come so late. But while I was reading Women in the Social Studies, I really just realized that women's history needs to be told more in history class for the simple reason that you're teaching around 50% girls in all of your classes. Um, I teach middle school in a public school, so 50% of my students, around 50% of my students are going to be girls. So you can't just focus on boys' history. Um, and I really saw this was happening when we went and did the standards activity, and I went and saw there was like 60 men and there were like two women and then two female groups that I found in the standards. So just women's stories need to be told more because women matter and because women are present in your class at the time. And an example of this not happening is at my school right now. We have like a board of Black history icons, and on that board, I think we have 8 or 9 men and just one woman, which is Rosa Parks. And I think that's just a bad message to send to our Black female students. For our Black male students, it's great. They have a lot of icons and people up there that they can look up to and that they can maybe relate to. But for our Black female students, there only being one person up there tells you that it sends the message that only one Black female person in American history has done something that we find noteworthy enough to include up here. And that's not a message that you should be sending to your Black students, to your Black female students, or just female students in general. The second thing I'd like to talk about is a shift in my thinking, and this came during the gender and sexuality assignment activity. So I was doing the standards assignment where we have the 3 different standards and you have to choose one and talk about how you're going to teach female history during that or within that standard. And what this really taught me is that you can look deeper than the standard goes. I feel like as a new teacher, I'm worried or I'm scared to really go delve outside the standard because I might get backlash from admin, because I might get backlash from parents. But what I've seen in reading this, the author talked about how teachers who want to teach about female history find a way to teach about female history. So taking what I've learned from this activity and how I can dig deeper into these standards, I think a great shift in my thinking will now be when I look at a standard, any given standard, it'll be what's the untold story in this standard that can be told to give a richer, more diverse perspective on this particular part of history. And then just something I found super noteworthy was teaching about older civilizations who put down queer or non-conforming people to kind of maintain a status quo in their society. I'd love to teach about that just because it's something I hadn't thought about teaching, and I think it's something that really activates your critical thinking as you're thinking about why were they doing this or how did this happen or stuff like that. So I think I had some really good epiphanies and some great shifts in thinking today. Thank you.